what does April look like? Because April felt to me like a time when the country really kind of exploded even more, and you saw more leisure travelers, especially, kind of booking up.
Yeah, no question. The progression definitely extends into April, and we're encouraged by that. And it does remain driven by leisure business. And it's also true that we're starting to see some really interesting and really encouraging signs that group business among corporations, especially, and some association business, is also starting to tick up.
Where? Like what business travel do you see? What kind of group rates? Are you talking conferences again?
Correct. So I think the common held belief was that the progression of the recovery would be leisure business, then business transient travel, individual business people traveling, and then group meetings. And I think it's actually going to be inverted with respect to the last two. I think group will actually come back in a more pronounced way earlier. And we're starting to see corporations, companies in the pharma industry, companies in the information technology and consultancy systems integration industry, and banking and finance. Those are the sectors that we're starting to see some real activity. And our first significant meetings, corporate meetings, will be for two separate pharma companies, one in June and one in July. Large scale for any reference point over the last year or so. In one case, over 1,000 participants, about half of which will be joining through a digital platform. And we're thrilled because we've just spent about 6 months designing a new hybrid platform that we just launched called Together by Hyatt, which is designed to actually create more of a seamless experience for those who are in person in our hotels and those who are joining through digital.
Mark, you just lost me. What does that mean? You're going to have a 1,000-person conference. Only half of them will be in person. Half of them will be online. What does Hilton have to do with that? You launching your own type of Zoom thing? How does that work?
So first, it's Hyatt. Sorry to correct you.
I'm sorry, Hyatt. Yeah, my apologies.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's another H. The answer is that. So I'll tell you how it's going to work. The company decided that they needed to have a convening. They recognized the really significant benefit of having people in person. So about half of the 1,000 people will be spread across 10 different hotels across the country. So every location will have about 50 people attending in person. It's linked, of course, and then there's a digital channel that people can actually join through that is virtual, and it's through a digital platform. And what we just did in launching this Together by Hyatt platform, we partnered with a company called Swapcard, which is a Paris-based AI-enabled event platform, and it's got a unique interface so that participants themselves can connect through their interests or preferences. And the meeting planner, event planner, has an overall view about engagement and activity, and the system itself can provide predictive recommendations for individual participants as to which talks they should really focus on and what exercises they want to do. And we've infused this platform with some well-being programming from Miraval, our well-being brand, as well as Headspace.
So do you think that is the conference of the future, that we're not going to see these giant conferences of 500 or 1,000 people in the same place, but you can make it still happen in smaller groups that all link up to each other? That's a really different way. You think that's the conference of the future?
It's certainly the conference of 2021 and 2022. I've talked to a number of large employers who, mostly professional services firms, who are really struggling to decide whether the in-person partner meeting or a large-scale meeting that they had planned for October and November of this year should be held or not. And I keep talking to them about the fact that, don't make this a binary decision. And I think that a lot of companies will opt for something that looks like a hybrid experience in this period of time when it's very uncertain, if you've got colleagues outside the US especially, which markets are going to be open for travel. So I do think that this will be the mandate for the coming year or two, but I don't think it will be the dominant platform thereafter, because I'm already seeing it and hearing it for people who have gotten together in person. The pent-up demand for human connection is so great that I think people will absolutely see the value and the benefit of convenings again. And there are a couple of large citywide convenings, big conventions, that are actually working through the planning for later this year. And in places like Denver and San Francisco, and a couple of other markets around the country where they're working with the local city and ensuring that they can stand something up so that they can actually bring larger groups together. So it's just beginning to show signs that the demand is going to actually be realized.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.